Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from EntitledParents. Story 1 is by Grimace Four Eyes. Entitled Mother thinks family bathroom is only for her and baby. Yesterday, I, 37 female, got off a plane in the US and rushed to the airport bathroom. I have radiation colitis from cancer treatment and am prone to diarrhea/incontinence. I had a small accident while deplaning but was trying to hold the rest until I got to the bathroom. Not the first time this has happened, and I carry clean clothes and wipes with me for whenever I travel. Anyway, I noticed a long line at the women's bathroom and I saw that the family care bathroom was vacant and no one around looking to use it, so I stepped inside. I hear screaming behind me, but ignore it as it's a busy airport and I thought nothing of it. As I'm closing the door behind me, a woman carrying a baby literally puts her hand and body between the door and opens the door, and the following interaction occurs. Angry entitled mother: "Excuse me, this is a family restroom. This is not for you." Me trying to hold the rest of my stuff in. "Sorry, you'll have to wait." Entitled mother: "We need to use this bathroom." Me: "Not that this is any of your business, but I have a disability." Entitled mother: "What disability?" She's still preventing me from closing the door with her body/hands while holding a baby, mind you, and literally would not let go, still screaming, "What disability?" She still held on. I overpowered her and pushed her back with the door, then pulled the door closed and locked it. F her and her effing baby. You don't have a monopoly on family restrooms, which need a completely different title altogether, in my opinion. And you don't get to harass a literal cancer patient because you chose to reproduce. I hope she and her baby poop their pants like I did. If that happened, that would be under petty revenge, in a way. This one's just entitled parents. Our next story is by Transportation OK 3707. I cut ties with entitled parent after I refused to change my daughter's name. About a year ago, I made a post about how my parents were threatening our relationship because of my daughter's name. Since then, much more has happened. Last year, my daughter graduated high school and turned 18 years old. My Filipino parents were upset that her middle name wasn't my maiden name. This is part of Filipino culture that our family has taken a part of. When my daughter was born, my husband and I gave her her own middle name instead of my maiden last name. My parents, who have called her by her actual legal middle name since she was born, were upset after looking at her high school diploma. Why hadn't they realized before? Still beats me. They called, demanding that I change her name or else. I obviously didn't want to, and legally I couldn't anyway. My daughter called them later that night and said no. My entitled father screamed at her, and she hung up. Since then, there's been a lot of unraveling. I tried my best to hear them out. After speaking to my parents, they believe that because daughter has her own middle name, I'm turning my back on my family and being Filipino. Entitled father said that because daughter is his granddaughter, then his name should be on that diploma. Now, after this, we can all guess what he really means. He just wants to take credit for daughter graduating high school and going to a pretty darn good college and her further accomplishments as she gets older. Entitled father also attacked husband as well. Entitled father believes that husband is some sort of authoritarian figure to me and daughter, saying, "She's your daughter too," which basically is implying that husband is trying to take over our entire marriage. In reality, I'm the one in charge. I am in charge of all the taxes, cleaning, and cooking. Husband literally just goes to work. I like it this way. In the past, entitled father has argued with me that I took husband's car to the body shop. Entitled father also threw a fit because I take the trash out. Entitled father keeps telling me that those are tasks a man should do, not the mother/wife. Again, I like being in charge of everything. Plus, some context. My husband suffered from a terrible infection back in 2020. This has caused him to have issues with him being able to balance and walk well. So even then, husband can't do those tasks that entitled father complained about. He also believes that husband is faking his disability, saying he's stronger than he looks. My entitled parents have also complained about my daughter, unhappy with the way she dresses and how she isn't helping. For context, my daughter dresses like a normal teenager. Yes, she'll wear a crop top, but all kids dress like that. Though I don't entirely like it, I also understand this is the fashion for her generation, and that when the time comes, I trust that she will dress appropriately. They were unhappy that her white graduation dress, that would be covered by her graduation gown, was backless. Entitled parents were also upset that her midriff was shown another time. While bashing my husband for not helping, they also bashed daughter, too. Again, I like it this way, and I like being in charge of everything. I truly understand how my parents feel about me, my marriage, and daughter, saying something just doesn't feel right. After hearing from my parents, I cut ties with them. I don't call them or visit. This year they're celebrating their 50th anniversary, but I, their only daughter and child, am not coming. I know I'm going to hear crap from my tita about not planning it, but it's not her concern. What is a tita? Like aunt or something? That's something I'm going to have to Google later. This is yet another example of parents trying to live way too vicariously through their children. I understand some traditions are important. I can understand them being a little salty about it, but it's not massively life-altering and doesn't matter that much. If you're involved in your granddaughter's life, that's enough for people to know that you guys are affiliated with each other. You don't need your name stamped on everything. Our next story is by HDBRM. My high school dropout daughter needs a job now. I've been a bit on the subreddit and remembered a good story about an entitled mother and her high school dropout daughter, entitled daughter, who was just as entitled as her mother. A little info. I live in Belgium and have an internship at an interim office. If you don't know what that is, it's basically an office that specializes in finding jobs for other people. It's a really fun and rewarding job, but it has its downsides. If you drop out of high school in Belgium, it's really, really hard to find a job since almost no company wants to hire you, only fast food places, retail stores, and production companies. Now let's get to the story. This all happened in the month of January, which is a very busy month for us, and we had a lot of people and companies to call. I was working on a list of people who were quitting/fired, meaning I had to call them and ask the reason for them leaving the company when this lady and her daughter walked in. I greeted them with a smile and asked what I can do for them. Entitled mother, my daughter is looking for a job. Me, okay ma'am, do you have an appointment? Entitled mother, no. Me, sorry, but you'll have to wait a little bit. None of my colleagues are available at the moment. I'm almost done with my task and then I'll help you right away. Entitled mother, can't you help us now? I'm sure your task can wait a bit longer. Me, sorry ma'am, you don't have an appointment with us. That means you don't have priority, and my task is very important and needs to be completed ASAP. Entitled mother, fine. She was obviously not happy with my response, but she sat down and gave me a glare. I just sat down and continued my work. After maybe 10 or 15 minutes, I was done with my task and invited her to sit at my desk. She quickly came over and sat down, and I could see by the way she walked that she was very pissed. Her daughter took a seat next to her, and I started with filing the standard information: name, age, address, etc. After that, I started with more specific questions. Me, what kind of job are you looking for? Entitled daughter, I want to work as a kindergarten teacher. Me, it's a bit difficult to find. I don't think we have any at the moment, but we do have some applications for a daycare. Would you be interested for that? Entitled daughter, sure. Me, great. Before you can apply, I need a copy of your high school diploma so I can add it to your profile. Otherwise, you won't be able to apply for this job. Entitled daughter, oh, I don't have a high school diploma. Me, I'm sorry, you can't apply for this job then. May I suggest you apply for a job in retail or fast food? We have a lot of those at the moment. At this point, entitled mother is at her boiling point. She puffs up and starts to go on a rant. Entitled mother, my daughter is not going to work at a dirty fast food joint. She's way too smart and pretty for that. She wants to work at a daycare. Me, I'm sorry ma'am, but your daughter needs a high school diploma for that. If she doesn't have one, I'm not allowed to give her that job. Entitled mother, she's smart enough for that job, so she doesn't need a diploma. Just give it to her. Me, I can't give this job to her, ma'am. She needs a high school diploma by law, and if I give her that job, it can cost me my internship, and can give the company legal trouble, and I can't afford to do that. She pulls up her nose and gives me a glare of pure disgust. Entitled daughter, of course it had to be an intern helping us. You don't know anything. Can we see someone who actually works here? Me, all my colleagues are currently busy, so I can't disturb them. Entitled mother, no, you're lying, and they are probably in the break room. Go get them. At this point, I'm getting sick and tired of this lady being an all-around idiot, and I calmly get out of my seat and point to the door. Me, ma'am, could you please leave? You are being very hostile towards me. I assume this is meant to be entitled mother here. Entitled mother, no. How dare you even speak to me like that? I'm not leaving till you get someone who knows what they're doing or my daughter gets a job in daycare. Me, for the last time, ma'am, I'm not giving her a job in daycare. She doesn't have a high school diploma. If I knew one of the employees in daycare doesn't have a diploma, I wouldn't send my kid there. Now I'm asking you one more time to leave or I will call security. Me mentioning a security guard scared her, so she gathered her things and started walking to the door, but not before giving me a death glare. Entitled mother, I'm gonna make sure you lose your internship. Mark my words. I later heard that they went to a different office where the girl applied for a job in fast food. My high school dropout daughter needs a job and she doesn't want to work fast food. Well, that's tough. Maybe she should go get her high school diploma. She can still do that even though she dropped out. And she should do that. It gives you opportunities that you're legally blocked from otherwise. Just because the parent thinks they're smart and pretty doesn't mean they're going to get the job. All right. Today's stories have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a fabulous day.